So, Mr. Schekman, it's an honor to meet you and congratulations on the award.
Pleasure's mine.
I heard that you and James Rothman used to call each other every year, the day after the announcement,
yes, we did.
to condole each other on not getting
yes,
the
we
award.
have. We've developed different terms to express what has happened or not happened that Sunday night.
So what was this call like this year?
Well, this was very different. This was much earlier in the morning. I called him before the press conference here in Stockholm, and we just compared notes and got ready for the challenge ahead.
Yeah. I heard that you thanked your high school biology teacher when you got the award.
Yes.
So how important was he?
Well, he was instrumental. He first introduced himself to me when even before I started high school. I was in my annual performance at a science fair project. I think I was in 8th grade, and he came up to me and he said, "I'm going to be your biology teacher next year, so we'll have more to discuss then." And he was, throughout my high school years, very encouraging. Every year I did a science fair project. They became more and more elaborate. And so we've kept in touch over the years, including, curiously, this year, he, out of the blue, sent me an email. He said he'd looked me up on Google and was impressed with what I'd done. And
so this was before the award?
This was before the award, some months ago. And I corresponded with him. I sent him a video of some other things that I've done. And then on the morning of October 7th, after the press conference, he sent me an email and congratulated me. He said how wonderful it was that he was still alive.
That's nice.
It's great. He told me, he said that you've now replaced Tiger Woods as the most famous graduate of our high school. He was being kind.
Actually, your students seem to love you just as much as you love him. I even heard this song that's dedicated to you.
Really?
But I was wondering, you seem to be driven by an insatiable curiosity from an early age. Is it true that you called the police on your parents when you were saving up for your first microscope?
Yeah, well, I actually bicycled to the police station because they were borrowing my money from an envelope that I was using to accumulate money to buy a microscope. And my father came over to the police station and he had some words with the chief of police, and then he came out and took me to a pawn shop that afternoon, and I bought my microscope for $100, and I've donated that microscope now to the Nobel Museum.
Oh,
because
you still have it?
I had it, yes.
Yeah.
I kept it for decades, and of course I wasn't using it anymore. I have better microscopes in my laboratory, so I thought when I was asked to think of something to donate here, I thought this was the perfect gift, because otherwise it's doing nothing. So
your father must have forgiven you by now.
yes, at first he was a little disappointed that I didn't go to medical school, but he's forgiven me.
I was wondering, because I've heard scientists rave about this elegant experiment you did using just baker's yeast and floor polish. But did you know by then that this seemingly simple experiment would lead to something so big?
The first experiments that yielded results that I thought would lead us over a long path came before this experiment that you referred to using floor polish, when we just picked colonies randomly and looked for mutants that block secretion, block export. And we found one, and it conformed all the conditions that we had imposed for a good mutant. But the most dramatic thing, really one of the most dramatic results I ever had in my career, was when my student, Peter Novick, cut a thin section and looked at a slice through this mutant cell using the electron microscope. And he called me down excitedly to the EM room from my office, and there was a cell just chock full of vesicles. No one had seen anything like this before. That was a dramatic moment, and I knew from that moment on that we would have many good things to do.
This was the start of this evening.
Yes, it was.
Thank you so much for talking to us, and please enjoy your evening.
I will.